So maybe you've heard someone use the expression, good enough isn't. And it can be very motivating and challenging. And let's be honest, the fact is that there are times in our life where good enough is, because we may not have time to make everything as perfect as it could possibly be, but at the same time, there are a lot of places in our lives where we do settle for good enough. And we're settling for a mediocrity that yields mediocre results. And maybe that's something we can knock off. Because you deserve better, and the world deserves better. So, taking full responsibility for your own well-being. Even though I settle for good enough too often, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I settle for good enough too often, I choose to love and honor myself anyway. Even though I settle for good enough too often, and maybe a lot of the time, I settle for less than good enough. And I come up with all kinds of reasons for that. And even though I often settle for good enough, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who taught me to do this. All these times I settled for good enough. This need to settle for good enough. There's a part of me that really wants to settle for good enough. It's fun to say that good enough isn't. But part of me knows that settling for good enough keeps me safely in my comfort zone. If I pushed for better than good enough, change is going to happen. Things are going to improve in my life. And while part of me likes that idea, it scares part of me. Part of me is afraid that change isn't safe. And so doing more than good enough isn't safe. And I love and forgive myself for trying to take care of myself. And I'm recognizing that I deserve better. And the world deserves better from me. So I'm clearing this need to settle for good enough. There are times when good enough is. But I'm not going to kid myself. There are times when I settle when I don't need to. I deserve better. I'm clearing the fears that hold me back. Clearing the fears that limit my performance. That scared part of me that says, that's good enough. Just stop there. I deserve better than that. I'm releasing these fears at a cellular level. and all the way back through my past. I deserve better than good enough. And I'm creating better than good enough. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Thanks for doing that.